Morning, morning, morning. Let's let everybody get in the chat. If you can hear me, give me a 2 before in the chat. It takes a few minutes to go live, or like 30 seconds before everything catches up. So first person in here, tell me if you can hear me. Give me a 2 by 4 in the chat. All right, 30 seconds. Who is in here? Let me know who's in here. We will start the show in just a second. Miss Sharon. All right, Miss Sharon, I appreciate it. I'm glad to have you in here. All right, guys. Sorry we are doing this. I guess we could say happy afternoon or good afternoon. It's 12 o'clock here. I had some stuff I had to do this morning. The countertop guys showed up on a job we're working on. They're like, we're going to be there at 8:15. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, have to push the show back a little bit, but I appreciate you being here. So, and it's funny. I've got on a Milwaukee shirt today, and I came in. The guys were putting the countertops in. I came in. One of the guys looked at me. He goes, "Are you a Milwaukee fanboy?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, you got a Milwaukee shirt on. I didn't know if you were one of those Milwaukee fanboys." And I kind of laughed at him. I said, "When you buy as much Milwaukee tools as I've bought in my life, they give you free T-shirts a lot of times." So I've got 2 or 3 Milwaukee T-shirts. But yeah, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "I didn't go out and buy this." I was like, "I bought enough Milwaukee crap that they give me T-shirts every now and then." So, all right, guys, festival. We are like 10 days away from the festival. The sale is off, so if you've not got your tickets, you need to get the tickets. I mean, you're going to have to pay full price for them. The sale went off last night at midnight. That's going to be our last sale. But guys, the festival's coming up like 10 days. I am freaking super, super excited about that. So, Michael, yeah, 1.5 by 3.5. Yeah, for sure. That's what it is now. But well, hey, I tell you, what's cool talking about wood and stuff like that. I wanted to do something back here since I've got my new office down here in the basement. I want to do something behind that wall. So I ordered some. They're shelf brackets. They're like metal shelf brackets, black metal shelf brackets, and so it's for those shelves. And I was like, I don't want to use just regular shelving boards. So I had in my other office down in the shop, I had some rough sawn lumber that a mill had cut for me off is some logs that we got off a job we were working on. So I ran over there yesterday. Yeah, Michael, until they change it. So I ran over there yesterday, asked the guys, I said, I want a full 2-inch thick by 12-inch oak boards, 8 foot long. And he's like, yeah. He said, we can cut those. He said, we're not cutting anything today. He said, we're out in the woods cutting logs. He's like, but in a couple of days, we can cut some for you. And I was like, cool. And I was like, I don't really know how much these things are going to cost. But I asked him, I said, how much are these things going to cost? He figured it up. He said, $14 a piece. And I'm like, holy crap, that is dirt cheap to get a full 2-inch thick, 12-inch wide by 8 foot long oak boards are going to be $14 a piece. And I pulled it up last night. I was like, 2 by 12s pine, 8 foot 2 by 12 pine at Lowe's is like $14.87. And I'm like, man, that's a smoking deal on that. So hopefully by next weekend, or hopefully by this weekend, I'll have lumber up and get my shelves up and all that kind of cool stuff. So I'm excited about that for sure. So, but we're noon and the dogs are barking upstairs. It sounds, I guess my wife has come home. My youngest one's upstairs hanging out. So I think she's gotten here. She had to go somewhere this morning for work. All right, guys. We covered the shirt, the shelves. I make little notes so I don't forget about stuff. And yes, thank you, Miss Sharon. Get your tickets. Tickets are $35. That's going to be the regular price for the tickets from here on out. You've only got 10 days for the festival. If you want to buy your tickets at the door, you can. It helps us if you buy tickets ahead of the time for planning and stuff like that. So also don't forget, we've got first aid medical supplies. Our medical bags and kits, we've got those in stock. Go check out the website. Pure Bag filters. We've got Pure Bag filters on the website ready to go. Also, we have comfrey root cuttings and comfrey crowns on the website for sale. If you need some of that stuff, go check it out. Also, Combat Midwife. And I'm pretty sure it's combatmidwife.com. Let me. Yes, it is combatmidwife.com. Jessica is the combat midwife. She is going to be in Bowling Green, the same place we have the festival. She's going to be here October, what is it? Yeah, October 25th. She's going to be doing her combat midwife class. So go to her website, check it out. It's going to be a stinking awesome class. I plan on having her on the show one morning pretty soon. We'll probably do it after the festival. To talk about that class and everything she's going to offer in that class. But I am super, super excited about that. Today, we're going to talk about, and I'll tell you what we're going to talk about. If you got questions, you can go ahead and stick them in the chat while I'm talking about some other kind of stuff. We're going to talk about a 30-day food prep. That's what we're going to wind up talking about. I know a lot of people are looking at what's going on in the world, and they're like, I need to get more preps ready. I need to get my food squared away. So we're going to talk about starting a 30-day food prep. Also, go look at the lives that we've done. Shelly and I have been doing a live on Mondays and Thursdays. Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays. We've been doing lives with our speakers, stuff like that. Last night, we were on with Dr. Trevor. And Dr. Trevor is an amazing guy, the Angry Viking therapist, super cool guy. I got to meet him when I was out with Grindstone after Hurricane Helene is where I met him. He was down there when we were doing cleanup with Grindstone. Got to sit with him, talk to him. He's just a couple hours away in Lexington. And I was like, I would love to get him to come down for the festival and talk. So Dr. Trevor is going to be there all weekend. He's going to be talking about how to deal with trauma in a disaster situation, you know, how to deal with that if you've had a hurricane, tornado, something like that come through and just devastate your world, how to deal with the trauma and the stress with doing that. L2 Survive, hello, good to have you here. All right, so we got Combat Midwife. She's going to be here October 25th doing a class. Check out the lives we've done. Another one of the cool things, Lisa with it's retrowarriorcoffee.com is the coffee company. I know I've been teasing it a little bit, but it's Retro Warrior Coffee. Lisa and I just got off the phone. She has got an awesome coupon code for y'all, and I've got some of the sample packs right here. So, but what she has got, and there's a link in the description of the video. Lisa is our coffee sponsor with Retro Warrior Coffee. They're over in South Dakota around the Black Hills. Lisa's a super awesome person. I met her through Jennifer Sparkman at Our Shepherds. So I met her through that. And she was like, hey, I told her about the morning show. I was like, it's Clickbait and Coffee. And she was like, would you like a coffee sponsor? And I said, yes, ma'am, I would. And she was like, let's talk. So she has got Retro Warrior Coffee is our coffee sponsor for the show now. And here's one of the sample packs. This is the decaf. It's called Ghost Army Decaf, which is good. I drank some of that this morning. I don't drink a lot of caffeinated coffee just because if I drink too much coffee caffeine, it sets my blood pressure off. So we got that. Here's another. This says, give me coffee or give me death. This is a Guatemalan blend. So, but what Lisa was kind enough to do for us, use the code Homestead50 on their website, and that will give you 50% off their sample pack. So use the code Homestead50 on their website. That's going to give you 50% off a sample pack of coffee. And then she's working on the code to get y'all probably like 10% off on a subscription package that she's got for her coffee. So go over and check her out. The link's in the description, but the code is Homestead50. We'll get you 50% off their their sample pack. I think you can pick 5 different coffees for the sample pack. And I tell you what, just sitting down here with this coffee here, you can smell it. And I'm like, I've already drank coffee this morning, but I want some more. So, all right, let's see. What is this? I've emailed about camping for vendors. I've not had a response to. Who should I contact for camping? Rochelle, we've got, there's no tent camping at the festival. There's RV spots. You can have, if you want a spot for an RV, you can buy an RV spot and do that. But there's no tent camping at the festival. There is a KOA close by, I think 5 or 6 miles away. You can tent camp at the KOA, but you'll have to contact them. But no tent camping on site. Then let me see, L2 Survive. The combat midwife is great. I've seen her at a few different events, just a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I started talking to Jessica. I have not met her in person yet. Shelly met her in person at Midwest Preparedness Festival. She was out there. And I got a hold of Jessica and I was like, hey, we want you to come out and do a class on all the midwife stuff. I mean, she is a huge wealth of knowledge. And I'm super excited about having her out here the 25th of October to do that class for us. So if you want, run over there and do that. And Rochelle, yes, a pop-up camper is fine. Go to the website at KentuckySustainableLiving.com. Go to the website. There is, you can go there. There's RV spots. You reserve your RV spots and pay for those RV spots. We have spots Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. So whatever dates you need those, just do those and reserve your spot and pay for that on the website. So, all right. I think I've covered all the stuff. But yeah, go out, check Retro Warrior Coffee out. I'm going to have some more coffee because I'm sitting down here smelling this. So, guys, if you got any questions about food supply, food preps, stuff like that, that is what I'm going to cover. And also, while we're talking, what's everybody got planned for today? What have y'all been doing? I know Miss Sharon has probably been working in the garden. I've been doing contractor stuff, my day job. And after this, I've got a meeting with somebody about our website, about helping us change and tweak a few things on the website. I'm going to do that and then probably spend the rest of the day painting some stuff at my house. So we're trying to finish up one job we're working on, and then we're finishing it up. And then in between finishing it up, I've been repainting the house. So I got the trim done, ceiling's done, and now I'm going to start on the walls. Or actually, I've got to patch a little bit of drywall. So I'll probably patch some drywall the rest of the afternoon. And then we've got a festival meeting. A festival meeting tonight with everybody is probably going to be our last. Or no, we'll have one more festival meeting before it kicks off. So, Michael Hamilton, cutting hay today if it dries up. Yeah, we got a heck of a rain last night. I mean, it was thunderstorms and everything else, probably like, it was somewhere around 9 o'clock, something like that. I mean, it was just beating on the windows coming in. Thunder, lightning, everything else. And I don't know if it's supposed to rain. I'm bad sometimes about checking the weather if I'm not going to be doing an outside job. Today, we've got no more chance of rain today, but tomorrow's 60% chance of rain. So, Miss Sharon, I was until it hit 91. It's 93, real feel of 100 degrees and 49% humidity. Miss Sharon, you're doing all right if you're only running at 49% humidity. We're running, what is our humidity? Well, we're not too far behind you. We're at 66% humidity. Usually we're running a lot higher than that. So, but, and Michael, I've got to pick up some hay from my hay guy. He's been cutting the snot out of it. And I told him, I was like, I need to start stocking up on my hay. We usually buy rounds. And honestly, on the hay, as soon as Ginger, my cow, and Calvin, her bull calf, go up to Shelly's house, I might wind up starting to buy squares again, just because they're easier to do, they're easier to manage. I can keep them all inside in my barn because we've got a big hayloft in my barn. I think I can put 300 or 400 bales up there, squares if I need to. So, but the thing is, squares are more expensive than your rounds. So we might just keep doing rounds. We'll just have to see. And Miss Sharon, humidity was 89% this morning. I tell you that's the thing. If it's not so humid outside, the temperature is not near as bad. I mean, I'll take 90, 95 degrees with like 30% humidity any day for sure. So, all right, 30-day food prep. Good morning, Bill. What all have you got done? Because it's 12:15 here. I know you've probably done more work more work before noon than most of us do all day. So, and then our Shepherds, awesome coffee and awesome festival. I'm excited. Yes, I'm excited to have y'all down here. I can't wait to see the demo with y'all's dogs. I'm stinking excited about that. And also, hey, if we raise enough money, we're probably what we're going to do at the front. We're going to do like a tip jar kind of thing for Caleb House. So we've been kidding around with it that if we raise enough money for me, and we hadn't set the amount yet, but if we get enough donations for Caleb House, Jennifer and the guys with the dogs, they're going to let me get in a bite suit, and I'm going to take a bite for Caleb House. So we hadn't figured out how much money we're going to do yet, but it's going to have to be north of about $300 or $400 for me to get in a bite suit. But I'll make the tip jar. If y'all want to throw $5 or $10 in there, I will get in a bite suit. So, and then look, we've got Lisa from Retro Warrior Coffee. Lisa's going to be at the festival also. She's going to be doing Friday. All right, we've got Trek Coffee. They come in for the festival, set up and do coffee. I talked to them. The other day, and they're like, "Hey, we can't be there Friday." And I was like, cool. I was like, we've got Lisa coming from Retro Warrior Coffee. So I was like, we'll just do coffee on Friday. So Forrest from Alabama is going to have is going to be doing jambalaya and stuff like that. And he's like, heck yeah. He said, I'll do coffee on Friday morning. So Friday morning at the festival, you're going to get your taste of Retro Warrior Coffee because we're going to be brewing it and selling it on Friday morning. So I'm excited about that. And then let's see. Bill just finished harvesting about 200 onions. Man, Bill, you've got it going on. And we've got Newman is here. Newman, give us a report on how hot it is. Miss Sharon was complaining about how hot it is where she's at. I know you're going to beat everybody because it's always like over 100 where you're at. Let me see. Yes, and Retro Warrior, we'll have samples of the Nitro Cold Brew for y'all, and Friday morning we'll have drip coffee. Yes, I'm excited. I drank the Ghost Army decaf. That's what I typically am going to be drinking. I'm going to try some of the stuff, some of the other stuff that's got caffeine in it. I can't drink a whole lot of it because my blood pressure will shoot majorly high in the sky. So... all right, we're caught up on comments for now. Newman will tell us how hot it is and make all of us feel like a bunch of wimps when she says how hot it is over with her. All right, 30-day food prep. And I've got a list of some stuff. And honestly, coffee is in there. It's under one of the comfort foods. So, all right, 30-day prep. Why 30 days? 30 days is going to cover the majority of your emergencies with some time to spare. You're looking like a winter storm. Most of the time, a winter storm is going to be, at the most around here, maybe 5 days before you can really get out. Power outages, most of the time around here, power outages are only going to last a couple days. I think the longest power outage that I remember here was about 4 days where I live. So that's going to get you through. Any kind of quarantine, and we're going to do quarantine in quotes, that's going to get you through that. Any kind of civil unrest, stuff like that's going to go on. Typically, that's going to be done in 30 days. Regional disasters, over in North Carolina and Tennessee when the manufactured hurricane came through. typically after 30 days of that, there was help that was coming in to where you could get more food and stuff like that. So you're pretty good with that. Job loss, yes, you might be looking for a job longer than 30 days, but if you've got food stocked up, that's one less thing you have to worry about. Your food is if you've got a job loss, you've got 30 days of food. And some people are going to be like, holy crap, how do I start with 30 days? How do I do it? One thing that you can start off with is start off with what you eat. If you eat, let's just say, and I always throw the example out, spaghetti. If you eat spaghetti one time a week, and you know it takes a pound pack of noodles, one jar of sauce, and then a pound of ground beef or sausage or whatever you're going to put in it. You know that's what that takes. So if you're like, hey, I eat that stuff once a week, you've got four to 5 weeks in a month, so you need 4 or 5 of those. So that's a simple way right there. Like, boom, I've got a month's worth of spaghetti if I'm going to eat it one time a week. Newman, we will see. Hopefully, Lisa is still in here, and she'll see and answer your question. The question is, Retro Warrior Coffee, do you make instant coffee? I'm the only coffee drinker out here. I'm no longer salty enough to drink a whole pot by myself. Let's see. Yes, Lisa with Retro, she was wanting to, Newman was wanting to know if you made instant coffee. I don't know. I would answer that, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's see. Hopefully Lisa will answer us here in a minute. So, all right, 30-day food supply. Don't go out and buy a bunch of crap that you're not going to eat. Your food supply should be set up for stuff that you already eat. Just like the example of spaghetti. If you never eat spaghetti, don't go buy a bunch of stuff to make spaghetti because you're not going to eat it. If you don't like mac and cheese, don't buy a bunch of mac and cheese because you're going to be like, holy crap, I'm not going to eat mac and cheese. I hate this stuff. Why did I buy this? So you're looking, average person, they're supposed to say 2,000 calories per person per day. That's if you're just sitting sedentary kind of thing. If you're just sitting around on the couch watching Netflix, 2,000 calories is going to be fine for you. But if you're out doing something in a disaster, you're going to need more than 2,000 calories to stay at the fitness level, the health level, and the weight that you want to be at. So I'm figuring 3,000 calories is what I shoot for food storage stuff. So if you're doing that, you're looking at 90,000 calories per person for a month is what you're going to shoot for. And and when I'm planning this, a lot of people are like, well, I've got a 10-year-old. He's only going to eat half that. Don't do that. Plan, or you've got grandma that she's only going to eat half that. Go ahead and plan for each person as like a fighting age male with 3,000 calories per person, whether they're a month old or whether they're 100 years old. Figure that. That gives you some overlap and a little bit of wiggle room on stuff. So do that. What you're really wanting to do in your food storage stuff is shelf-stable, calorie-dense, and easy-to-prep foods. So, and before we get into categories, the chat is burning up. Let me see. All right. Miss Sharon, I'm canning dry beans. I don't want to be out there in 100-degree heat over an oven, open fire for 5 to 6 hours cooking beans. Hey, I am right there with you. And then our Shepherds just tried the new flavor geared for the festival. It's amazing. I love the espresso, and it's very good. Yes, because they're going to be putting out a new coffee at the festival and showing it. And then Bill, we generally have at least 2 months worth of food at any given time. Yeah, exactly. And then, let me see. Where do we go? I hate the way this stuff does sometimes. All right, Newman, We don't do instant, even though it was supplied to our troops for the first time during World War II. George Washington instant coffee is featured on the label of Fueled Up for Victory. All right. And then we offer specialty coffee, which is the top 20% of all coffee out there when it comes to quality. And then Newman was French press. Yes, I've got a French press. I don't ever use it too much. I just do my small coffee maker, the drip coffee, and do that. And then Bill, yeah, that's what Bill uses. He's the only coffee drinker as well, and I only drink 2 cups a day. Let me see. And then, yes, Michael Hamilton, French press too. Yeah. And then Retro. We'll be showing people how to brew small batches for individual use. Our goal is to simplify. All right, L2 Survive. We do 2,000 calories for people who don't move around too much, 3,000 for most outdoor jobs, and 4,000 for trigger pullers, scouts, and scavengers. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the more work you're doing, the more calories you're going to put in and not become a deficit, and not be in a deficit every day. And Newman, two cups is my speed. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Categories. I kind of simplified this in 5 different categories for your 30-day food storage just starting out. And also don't think when I'm naming some of this stuff, it's like, holy crap, I've got to go get everything right now. You can do this. You can start slow. You can start with 3-day food supply and then move it up to a 6-day, move it up to a 12-day, move it up to a 24 days, and then move it up to 30 days, and just build it up over time. So first category is your staples. This is what everybody thinks about. When everybody's like beans, bullets, and Band-Aids, the first thing that people say are beans. So you've got your staple stuff, like bulk items. You've got white rice, pasta, rolled oats, flour, pancake mix, beans, and lentils. All of those, essentially, rice and beans will make a complete amino acid to where you get everything that your body needs. So essentially, you can run off rice and beans if you have to. It's not going to be very good. You're going to get sick of that stuff pretty stinking quick. And you're not going to want to eat that all the time. And yes, Newman, coffee is a critical category for me. And Newman, we're going to get into that for sure here in just a minute. That's in our comfort stuff as far as on my list. All right. So we got, the first staples. You got rice, pasta, rolled oats, flour, pancake mix, beans, and lentils. That's stuff that's going to stay for a long time. Go and do. Good morning. Glad to have you in here. I hadn't seen you before. All right. Second one, proteins. And these proteins can be freeze-dried proteins. They can be canned proteins. They can be frozen proteins. Because a lot of mine, I've got all 3 in my food storage. We've got freeze-dried meats, we've got canned meats, and then we've got frozen meats. So you're looking. Your canned meats, you've got chicken, you've got beef, you've got pork, you've got fish, whatever you want to do on those proteins. And I'll tell you, one of the best ones is Keystone. I don't get anything off Keystone or anything, but Keystone meats, canned meats, are freaking exceptional. They make chicken, beef, ground beef, pork, and that's what they make. They make chicken, ground beef, shredded beef, and pork. And the ingredients in those, they've got the ingredients is whatever meat it is. Like if it's chicken, it's got shredded chicken, sea salt, and water. Those are the ingredients. Nothing else in that. And it's preserved that way and canned. So you're not getting all the preservatives, all that kind of crap in your... Yes, Miss Sharon, turkey also. I forgot about that. I'm not a huge turkey fan. So, yes, but thank you, Miss Sharon. Turkey, too. So you're not getting a bunch of preservatives and stuff. and it has got a 10-year shelf life on the Keystone stuff. Yes, Michael, awesome food. It is. The Keystone stuff is good. I've taken it before and taken the beef and opened it up and put some barbecue sauce on it and heating it up. And man, it's just freaking good stuff. So you've got your canned meats. You've got canned soups and canned chilies that have meat in those. That's some protein out of it. Plus your beans in the chili. Nuts. A lot of people don't think about nuts. So you've got the nuts. They've got protein and also fat in those. Protein powder is another one. I'm not big on the protein powders. I don't like the whey based proteins. I'm not huge on those, but that's something to think about is doing protein powder. And then also your meat in your freezer or your freeze dried meat. And like I said, we've got all three of those. And then next on my list, if I don't make a list, I forget stuff. We'll be running all over the place. So let me see. And yes, Miss Sharon, hit the like button. All right, L2 Survive. 100 chickens will provide part of a breakfast for 50 people every day. Yeah, exactly. I mean, chickens are awesome. We'll get in, and I tell you what, since the chat, everybody's talking big. Tell me a couple things that y'all would like me to cover on the upcoming shows. I can come up with stuff, but I like to do stuff that y'all are going to talk about and that y'all are going to enjoy. So give me a couple topics of what y'all would like me to cover more in depth on the morning shows. I'm open to whatever y'all would like to talk about. And Miss Sharon, herbs and spices are important too. Yes, we're going to get to those for sure. All right. Let me see. And Miss Sharon says, it's actually cheaper for me than buying fresh meats and can them myself. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at some of the stuff, buying some of the canned meats and the time that you take to buy it and get it set up and ready to can, your time is worth something too. So just look at that. All right. Let's see, Bill. We actually scramble and freeze our extra eggs. I've seen people doing that, and I've seen people will take the old ice trays and they'll crack the eggs and put them in the ice trays and freeze them that way. And once they're froze, they'll pop them out and then stick them in like a Food Saver bag or a Vac-Master bag and freeze them that way. And Bill says Bill is doing that raw. And look, our shepherds, and we're putting you in a bite suit already. We have a skit and music playing, and it's going to be epic. All right. As long as we raise enough money for Caleb House, I'm fine getting in the bite suit for that. Forrest says your PIN number. Forrest, if I gave you my PIN number, my card, it's not going to get you too far. So, and then Michael is, freeze dry the eggs. Yeah. I have not I have not run any eggs through my freeze dryer yet. I want to. I've got a bunch of freeze dried eggs already put up, but I need to do some freeze dried eggs. We don't have a ton of chickens right now, so most of the time the eggs we're getting every day, we're eating those for breakfast, stuff like that, or my wife's using it for baking and stuff like that. And Bill, yeah, the silicone ice trays. I've seen where people do that. I've not done it, and I need to try it. All right. Newman. All right. When I return home, I'm buying a freeze dryer. I have an abundance of chicken, beef, and eggs. Newman, I tell you what, the secret on having the freeze dryer is you've got to use the stinking thing. It's I'm bad about it. I've got one, and man, when I first got it, I was burning through stuff, just freeze drying all kinds of stuff, putting it up, and then it's like I kind of forgot about it. It's like, hey, I need to start using this thing more. And honestly, after the festival, I'm going to start in overdrive running that thing as much as I can. And Melanie, that would be fun to watch. Sorry, Jason. Yes, I'm going to get in a bite suit as long as we raise enough money. And then Shelly came in. Shelly must not be working super hard today. But thanks for coming in here, Shelly. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Since you don't use it, you should just give it to me. I use it, but not as much as I need to. It's just I forget about it sometimes. So it's in the basement. But I tell you honestly, since I brought the studio and everything down here in the basement, I'm down in the basement so much more. And I look at it and I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to use you. So, all right. Number 3 on the categories of stuff, fruits and vegetables. Yeah, Shelly, you can bring the food over and use it there. The only bad thing is you've got to set it and make sure that you come back to pull it out so you can bag everything up. That's the bad thing. I waited too long and I had to run it through another cycle and do it that way. So, all right, fruits and vegetables. You can do canned fruits and vegetables. You can do dried, dehydrated stuff, or you can do freeze dried. And I've got all 3 of those in my food storage. And again, store the stuff that you're going to eat. If you don't like asparagus, I despise asparagus. If you don't like asparagus, don't go out and buy a ton of asparagus to put in your food storage because nobody's going to eat it if you don't like it. And that goes along with your fruits and vegetables, tomato paste, tomato sauces, stuff like that. And have a variety of stuff also. All right, fats and oils. We all know most of your seed oils and stuff like that, your vegetable oils are just horrible for you. But if that's the only thing you got, get it and do it. So, but your cooking oils, if you're going to store some cooking oils, look at olive oil and coconut oil. Coconut oil stores for quite a bit of time. It's got a good shelf life on it. Look at some of your shelf stable butter, your ghee, stuff like that. Another big one, lard. Lard will store at room temperature. Also, your beef tallow. Keep your beef tallow there. That's some good fats and oils to cook with. Fats are the hardest thing to find in nature. You're not just going to go out. I mean, that's the hardest thing to find without animals. You can't just grow fats without growing animals. So, let me see. All right. Newman. I'd rather freeze dry than can. We'll put in a winter garden in the greenhouse to get my vegetables started off. This deployment was a hitch in my normal prepping. Yeah. And I would, honestly, I would rather freeze dry stuff than can it. And then L2 Survive. You can also just pick fruit off the tree and eat it. Yes, you can. And I'm excited. I've got a few peaches on my trees and I've got some pears on the trees. I think I've got 1 or 2 apples. So I'm like watching those things like a hawk. And I'm like, if one of these birds comes in here and messes with my fruit, I'm going to shoot them on sight. And then Shelly loves asparagus, but canned is gross. I've seen some canned asparagus, and I mean, asparagus is nasty normal in my opinion. But then when you can it, it just looks nasty. It looks even worse. Let me see. Bill, we love asparagus, and I've been eating fresh asparagus since about the middle of March. So, pickled. And Michael says, pickled is awesome. Rochelle also, yes, exactly. Use and rotate what you use. That's the big thing. Don't go buy a bunch of crap that you're never going to eat, and it's just going to sit on the shelf and be crap for you. And Newman, yes. Canned butter and tallow are staples for me. Exactly. And Shelly, yeah. Olive oil and coconut oils are what you should be eating anyway. Avocado too. The others are just bad for you. Yeah, exactly. Oh, let's see. Yes, fats are super important. You're not going to get, as far as calories and density, fats are going to have the most calories of anything else that you're going to have. I like freeze-dried, canning, and dehydration. Exactly. Pickled asparagus. I'm just not, no matter how you do with asparagus, I'm just not going to do asparagus. I despise that stuff. And then Bill, it's close to time for peaches and cream smoothies. Hey, I will dive down on a peaches and cream smoothie. That sounds freaking awesome. I'd eat the snot out of that. Then L2 survive. Some people have gardens that grow deer. I wished I had that problem. Yeah. Hey, I tell you, and I've heard people, it's like, yeah, I just plant the garden so the deer will come in here and then I can shoot the deer. And I don't care about the green beans or the corn. I just care about the deer. So that would be something I would do. I would rather have deer than I would corn. And I know I'm going to get some hate. I do not like corn. I could care less about just eating corn on the cob and stuff like that. Skillet corn. I mean, my family eats that stuff up, and I'm just like, I don't care about it. Everybody wants corn on the cob. I'm like, I'm good. I just don't care nothing about it. All right. We got the final thing, comfort foods. This is where everybody is like spices, coffee, chocolate, all that. Yes, we've got it in here. We left it up to the very end. Comfort foods. You've got coffee and tea. You've got to have some coffee and tea, have some caffeine and stuff. If I could pick one drink to drink the rest of my life, it would be sweet tea. I could drink sweet tea the rest of my life and be absolutely healthy and fine and super excited about drinking that. But your comfort foods, coffee and tea, chocolate, candies, crackers. You know, if you've got a bunch of soup stored up in your 30-day food supply, I hope you don't run out of crackers because honestly, in my opinion, soup without crackers just plain old sucks. It doesn't matter if it's chili, if it's chicken soup, whatever, tomato soup. If you don't have crackers in it, it just sucks. So, salt, sugar, your spices, you got to have those because with I mean, if you're going to take let's say you take canned chicken and rice, you can take, depending on what seasonings you put in that, you can make it all different types, all different stuff from way across the world. So you've got variety in that. So your salt, sugar, spices, all that kind of stuff. Oh, I just saw this Newman. Beef bacon is so good. Yes, I bought some. Sam's actually has beef bacon in Bowling Green. I bought some the other day, and I'm like, this brand, I forgot what brand it is, but it was like, holy crap, this stuff is good. I told my mom about it, and she bought some. She's like, that beef bacon was good. So, all right, let's see. Everybody's been banging through comments on this. All right. We've got, we love asparagus and have 100 male crowns. That's awesome. And Newman. All right. Tallow and butter are superior to olive, coconut, and avocado oil for health benefits. I use it, the others sparingly. Stay away from the seed oils. Yes, exactly. Seed oils are some of the nastiest stuff that you can get. Let me see what Bill said. I like cheating and eating only dessert for breakfast. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. My mom has got, I think it's a dish towel or no, it's a platter, like a Pyrex dish. And on the outside of it, somebody got it for her, and it says, life is too short, eat dessert first. And anytime, a lot of times when she fixes dessert, that she'll put it in that Pyrex dish, and I giggle on the outside of it. It says that. I'm like, that's pretty funny. And then Shelly, we put up 10 dozen ears last weekend. And Bill says, I ain't got enough teeth to eat corn on the cob. And then, yes, herbal teas. And then Newman, somebody agrees. I'm with you on the corn. Love greens, carrots, and cucumbers. I'll tell you, my favorite vegetable is green beans. I love green beans. I can eat green beans all the time. And my wife gets on me. She's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, cook. I was like, let's do some steaks, green beans, and mashed potatoes. And she's like, you're so simple. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just fix me meat, green beans, and some bread or a potato, and I'm fine. It's easy. It doesn't have to be anything super great. And yeah, Michael, Bill, just use your pocket knife. And then Shelly, I've got all the food groups: chocolate, cheese, steak, and bacon. Yeah, I'm with you. Those are food groups. No coffee. We've got to have some coffee. Retro Warrior Coffee. Our sample packs make great MREs. And then Miss Sharon. I use Lipton tea. It's much cheaper on Amazon than at the store. I will have to look into that. I don't know. My wife makes the tea. I forgot what tea bag she buys. All right. Sourdough crackers and store grains. Yes, exactly. Grains are a big thing in your food storage. All different types of the grains. It's amazing what you can find when you start looking into grains for sure. And yes, salt is a super necessary thing. All these people are like, don't put so much salt. Don't do so much salt. It's going to raise your blood pressure. It's going to raise your blood pressure. In reality, it's not going to. From what I've seen, you've got to have salt for your body to function the way it was meant to be. To survive. Scotch. Scotch is my comfort food. A tumbler of Johnny Walker Blue and a good cigar, and I'll be right back. Yeah. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you on the cigar. I could do a good cigar for sure. And then beef bacon is way better. That beef bacon at Sam's is stinking amazing. I like it. Let me see. They don't have it in Spotsylvania, but I get it from Wegmans. Looking forward to curing my own beef bacon when I get home. Hey, that sounds good to me. All right, we're glitching out. All right, hopefully we're not glitching too bad. All right, canned pie filling is good for breakfast. That might be the quote of the day for sure. And then Newman, my new endeavor when I get home is distilling spirits. Would love to make a good bourbon. Hey, that would be cool. I'm going to try to get at the next festival. I'm going to try to get somebody to come up and do some kind of moonshine or something like that. All right, and then Shelly, yeah, Barbara Sue is speaking on grains in your preps at the festival, so that will be something good right there. Sweet potatoes are a staple. And then Newman, love green beans steamed in mushrooms sauteed in butter and soy sauce. That sounds good. I'm with you on that. All right. Let me see. And yes, Retro Warrior Coffee put in there. Use the code Homestead50. We'll get you 50% off your coffee sample pack. And then, hey, somebody right there. Newman is down too for pie fillings for breakfast. And Donna, where can you find salt naturally? Donna, you are going to have to come to the festival. Suzanne Shires will be there, and she's going to do a whole talk on finding salt in the wild. So if you don't have your tickets, get your tickets for the festival at KentuckySustainableLiving.com and come in and talk to Susan. She'll be there all weekend. So if you miss her talk, you can talk to her and she'll show you and tell you where to find salt naturally. Yeah, and Bill, salt is only going to raise your blood pressure if you don't do anything to not make you sweat. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Storage stuff. We'll hit on storage real quick. Storage. You want to do everything in a cool, dry, dark place. Don't keep the lights on in there because the lights are going to fade the labels on everything. So keep it in a cool, dry, dark place. Depending on what you're storing, if it's a shorter term stuff, you can get by with just in the packages that it comes in. It's going to store for several years that way. If you've got something that you're going to store for a longer time, look at doing it in Mylar bags. I store a lot of stuff in Mylar bags. That's where my long-term stuff is stored, is all in Mylar bags and in buckets. Also, label everything. It label everything, especially if you're putting it in Mylar bags and buckets. Label the outside of the bucket rice or whatever's in there. Label the Mylar bag rice or whatever's in there, because the last thing you want to do is have all these Mylar bags and you're like, man, I really don't know what's in there. I'm just going to have to open it up and see. And then you open it up and you're like, oh, it's rice. I've already got 2 things of rice open. But label that stuff. Also, your short-term foods that you're going to have that are going to go bad, relatively fast. Rotate those things out. So you're using, what is it? So the stuff that's been there the longest, you're going to eat that. Buy your new stuff and put it in the back, and just rotate around like that. So, and like I said previously, you don't have to build 30 days all at once. You can take time and do this. Start out with 3 days or a week. Once you've got a week built up, then go for 2 weeks. And then after that, go for 3 weeks. And then after that, go to 4 weeks. By the time you've got a 30-day food supply built up, you're going to figure out, it's like, hey, that light bulb will come off. It's easy to do. I figured out what I'm going to do, and you can just keep on going. Once you've got your 30-day, once you've got 3 days, kick in to do 3 months. Then after you've got your 3 months built up, kick in to do 6 months. After you've got 6 months built up, kick in and do a year. And then after a while, you're going to have a ton of food storage, and you're going to feel a lot better about your prepping or your homesteading situation right there. And also, you can build it slowly. Take, this week and look at your proteins. Start with your protein with one of the categories. Start with it. Say, hey, this week I'm going to stock up on proteins when I go to the grocery store. Get all your proteins. And then next week, be like, hey, I'm going to stock up on my grains and my staples. So get those that week. And then the week after that, be like, hey, I'm going to do my fats and my oils, and build it that way if you want to. You don't have to go out and spend, $1 million right now on 30-day food storage. And you're not beholden to all the food storage companies. All your freeze-dried stuff, everybody that sells their 30-day buckets of emergency food. You're better off building your own by far, in my opinion, because a lot of those 30-day and 90 days and stuff like that, year's food supply, is all the calories are all from sugar in the drinks. They'll give a meal, and it's like, yeah, I've got this, 2,000 calories for this, but heck, 1,000 of those calories are in some kind of sugary drink that's not really doing anything for you. So, and then foraged, yeah. People forget that oatmeal is long-term storage. Yes, oatmeal will keep for all kind. I mean, it'll keep who knows how long. I know it'll keep at least 20 years. And then yes, your preps are our biggest insurance policy, 100%. And then also, yes, with your Mylar bags, you need oxygen absorbers. I've got a ton of videos on YouTube about storing food, stuff like that, and Mylar bags, different types of oxygen absorbers, and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's exactly right. Most of the 30-day buckets are junk. They've got a bunch of empty calories and stuff like that. Now, granted, they do have their place, but I wouldn't want to have just 30-day buckets from the big name companies. I would want my own stuff. I've eaten a lot of that stuff, and some of it's good, some of it's just crap. So I'm all about doing your own. And then it's just like Shelly was talking about. Shelly's like, give me your freeze dryer. I'm just going to bring my food down to you. That's another thing. If you've got a friend that's got a freeze dryer, ask them, be like, hey, can I come over and use your freeze dryer and do that to where I've got, my food that I've flavored and I know I like it, do it that way, and that's all about building community and having a community of people to do. And I've told Shelly before, I'm like, if you want to do a bunch of eggs, I was like, get a bunch of eggs and bring them down and we'll freeze dry the eggs. And yes, oatmeal is very important and versatile too. And then, Miss Sharon, I'm not a fan of oatmeal, but I could probably do it with pie filling dumped in it. Yeah, exactly. And exactly, you want real food with real nutrition. I mean, and the best food that you can put in your food storage is stuff that you've grown or raised on your own place. That's bottom line, the best way that you can do it. The next best thing is to put together your own food supply instead of buying some of the big box stuff. L2 Survive. Put up a 10 by 10 shed, insulate it with Pink Panther insulation, then 5 inches of foam board, cut in a window unit for air conditioner, and then you have a walk-in cooler for long-term dry storage goods. Exactly. And that's one of the things. You want to keep your food storage as cool as you can, not frozen. Everything that I've seen, like 50 to 60 degrees, is optimum for longevity of your food storage. The hotter you get, the less time that it's going to keep. So just like, excuse me, just like on the MRE cases, the hotter it gets, the shorter the MRE shelf life is. There's all kinds of charts on there. So there's all kinds of charts on there you can look that the hotter it gets, the shorter the shelf life is on your food. Let me see. All right. And then Newman. I blanched sweet potato greens, then froze them like spinach. That sounds like that would work. Then Michael, any suggestions for apples? We've been blessed with a huge apple crop this year. I tell you what, my aunt and uncle had a big orchard when they were still alive, and we were real close to them. My uncle would take the apples, peel them and slice them up into slices, and he had a couple real big boxes. He just built them out of wood. My aunt would put down like wax paper in the bottom of it, and they were only like 2 or 3 inches tall. And he had a super fine screen on there, and he would lay those out, and he would put it out in the sun, and it would dehydrate those out in the sun, and then they would put them in bags, and man, they kept for a long time that way. Or Michael, if you find somebody that has you could dehydrate them if you got a dehydrator, and then vacuum pack them. They're going to keep a long time there. Or find somebody that's got a freeze dryer and freeze dry those jokers. Let me see. Not a fan of freeze dried eggs. The big thing with freeze dried eggs is do not get too much water with those. I have gotten too much water with freeze dried eggs, and they're absolutely nasty. So that's one of the things I will tell you about freeze dried eggs. Vitamin and mineral rich foods are going to keep you healthy. Exactly. And then Shelly, if you have a freeze dryer, you could offer to let the community use it and charge a cut, like bartering, like 20% or whatever, to help build your preps and help your community put their preps up. Yeah, exactly. And I've known a lot of people, they're like, yeah, you can use my freeze dryer, and I'm going to take, 20%, 20 or 25% of whatever you freeze dry. And people are like, hey, that works. And I know a lot of people that do that. Then Newman, I'm meh about corn, but I love grits with lots of butter, cornbread, and hoe cakes. I'm with you. I don't like just to eat corn, but all the stuff you can do with corn, I'm right there with you. And Miss Sharon's the same. All right. I did 600 quarts of apple products last year. Freeze-dried canned applesauce, canned apple butter, and pie filling, and dehydrated. Right there. All right. Dried apples to make applesauce and fried pies, freeze-dried or pie filling. Yes. And Newman is onto something. Fried pies. My dad used to make the best fried apple pies ever, and I don't know how he got that dough. That dough was so thin, it really only had like one side to it. It was that thin. But I would come in to my dad, I'm like, what are you making? He's like, I'm doing fried pies. And I'm like, I'm staying for a while. I would eat those things as fast as he could make them. And I would kill to have some more good fried pies like he used to make. But yeah, fried apple pies are amazing. So, guys, that's all I've got. It's getting ready to be almost 1 o'clock. I've got a meeting at 1:30. So I need to jump off here. But, guys, I appreciate it a bunch. I love all the comments. Don't forget, use Homestead 50 to get 50% off a sample pack from Retro Warrior Coffee. They're the coffee sponsor for the show. I super appreciate those guys sponsoring me, and it is some good coffee. Actually, I'll tell you this. My brother drinks the Kami Black Rifle coffee, and I gave him a couple sample packs, and I'm like, try that. And he's like, I'll try it. So I'm getting my brother off the Kami Black Rifle coffee onto the Retro Warrior coffee. They're not commies. So, guys, get your tickets for the festival at the website. They're $35 full price. They're going to be full price from here on out. But get those, and I will see you, what is today, Tuesday? I won't see y'all. Well, we'll be on Thursday night. Shelly and I will be on with Greg New. Greg New is the bee man. He will be on with us, and we're going to be talking about bees and all kinds of stuff. So I appreciate y'all being here. We'll see you Thursday night, and then I will be back on. Unless some crazy something happens, I'll be back on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. And guys, I appreciate it, and y'all have a wonderful day. See y'all.